I ran, clutching Ao and Taif close, feeling each of their tiny hands trembling in mine as we left the house and stumbled into the night. The air was cold, thick with the kind of silence that feels heavy, like it's waiting for something. I whispered to them to keep quiet, to stay close, but my own heart was pounding so hard I could barely hear myself think. We made it to the main road, out of the shadows of our house. For a moment, I felt relief wash over me. We were safe. But then, Ao gripped my hand tighter and whispered, "Papa, she's here." I turned around slowly, feeling a chill down my spine. And there she was, a shadowy figure standing under the streetlight, just a few steps behind us. Her form was clearer now, her face still obscured, but I could feel her eyes on me, burning with an intensity that made my skin crawl. "Please, leave us alone," I managed to say, my voice shaking. But she didn't move. Instead, she whispered something that sounded like the rustling of leaves, yet her words rang clear. "You cannot escape the promises of the dead. I've come to claim what's mine." My mind raced. What promise? My wife had never spoken of any deals, any promises to anyone or anything like this. And yet, this figure was certain. I looked down at Ao and Taif, their small faces filled with terror, and I knew I couldn't run forever. Taking a deep breath, I knelt in front of them. "I need you two to be strong, to hold each other's hand and run to Auntie Lara's house. She'll keep you safe." They looked at me, confused, but Ao nodded, squeezing Taif's hand as they slowly backed away. I turned to face the shadow. "You came for me," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "Let them go." For a long moment, the figure was silent, but then she nodded ever so slightly, as if acknowledging my offer. She stretched out her hand, dark mist curling from her fingers like smoke. Her voice was a haunting echo, a promise must be kept. I reached out, heart pounding, but just as our hands were about to touch, I remembered my wife's necklace, the one I'd taken off her the night she passed. I clutched it tightly, feeling its familiar weight, and in that moment, something changed. The shadow hesitated, drawing back slightly, as if repelled by the necklace. My heart surged with hope. "This was hers," I said, holding it up between us. If she made a promise, she left it with me. I wasn't even sure what I was saying, but the shadow figure seemed to recoil, her form growing fainter, as if weakened by the object. And then, like a whisper in the wind, she was gone. I sank to my knees, clutching the necklace, the silence around me lifting. My children ran to me, hugging me tightly, and I knew somehow we were free. Whatever promise had been made was fulfilled, and the dark figure would no longer haunt us. That night, we returned home. The house was still, quiet, almost as if the shadow had never existed. And for the first time in weeks, we slept peacefully, free from fear. The next morning, as sunlight streamed through the windows, I looked at my children and knew we had faced something unspeakable together. The shadow was gone, but the memory would stay, a reminder of a love that extended beyond life itself and the promises that can haunt the living.
I hope you liked the video. Do not forget to subscribe, like and share to your friends for more videos. See